All right, so you're thinking about ditching the desk job.
Trading it all in
Yeah,
for
exactly.
life on the farm, huh?
Becoming a mixed farmer.
It's quite a switch.
It's pretty awesome, actually. We've got a ton of info from RoleCatcher.
A career platform.
Yeah, it's a career platform, and
It dives deep into this.
they really get into like all the details of what this life is really like. You ready to get our hands a little dirty? Virtually, of course.
Let's jump right in. You know, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Mixed farming,
Mm-hmm.
it's this really cool blend of like the old ways,
Right.
the traditions,
Yeah.
and then that modern day hustle.
Totally. It's not just, milking cows and picking strawberries anymore.
No, not at all.
It's a whole business.
It really is. It's like running your own business,
Yeah.
but your office.
Well,
It's
yeah.
the great outdoor.
Out in the field, literally.
Hmm.
And speaking of which, that office comes with a serious to-do list.
Oh, absolutely.
The resources mention something called a diverse range of tasks.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Well, it means you're not just a farmer.
Right.
You're a veterinarian. You're an agronomist. You're a mechanic.
Oh my God.
You're a marketer. A financial manager.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's the whole shebang.
That's wild. I mean, what really stood out to me was just how many different skills you need. Like they even mentioned reading comprehension
Absolutely.
to run a farm. Who knew?
It's crucial.
Really?
You're reading up on the latest farming techniques,
I guess so.
market trends, all sorts of stuff.
Makes sense. Okay, so critical thinking communication, being a good listener. These
Yeah.
are all important life skills.
Absolutely.
But to see them applied to farming,
It shows you how well-rounded
yeah,
a mixed farmer needs to be.
for sure. You really do wear a lot of hats.
So-
From, like you said, veterinarian,
Mm-hmm.
agronomist, mechanic.
Even a financial analyst.
Wow, okay. And then there's marketing,
Oh, yeah.
because you got to sell all this stuff you're growing and raising.
Exactly. You can't just grow it and hope people show up. You got to connect with customers, whether it's through those farm-to-table boxes or at the local farmers markets.
Yeah, right. Like going digital even, maybe.
Absolutely. Online presence is huge these days.
That's a far cry from that classic image of a farmer just kind of puttering around in their overalls, right?
It's not your grandfather's farm anymore.
No, for
Okay.
sure. It sounds like you have to be super adaptable in this line of work.
Adaptability is key.
Yeah,
1 minute you're fixing an irrigation pipe.
right.
Next you're negotiating a deal with a grocery store for your prize-winning tomatoes.
Wow, that's a lot. And then on top of all that, you've got Mother Nature to contend with.
Oh yeah, that's the wild card, isn't it?
Totally. It's not all like beautiful sunsets and fields of sunflowers.
Definitely not. You've got droughts, floods,
Oh, God.
pests that can wipe out your crops overnight.
Talk about pressure.
You're constantly adapting to things outside of your control.
That's a lot of pressure. And then, of course, there's the whole market demand thing, what people actually want to eat. Like one day it's all kale smoothies. The next day it's cauliflower pizza crusts.
Exactly. You got to stay ahead of those trends.
How do you even keep up with that?
Well, a lot of mixed farmers are going direct to consumer.
Okay.
So things like farm shares, farmers markets.
Right, to have more control.
Exactly. More control over pricing
Okay.
and building those relationships with customers.
So you're not just a farmer.
Nope.
You're an entrepreneur, a marketer.
A bit of a mind reader trying to figure out what people will want to eat next month.
It's like you need a crystal ball to be a mixed farmer these days.
A little intuition goes a long way.
For sure. It sounds like a dynamic field.
It definitely keeps you on your toes.
That's for sure.
Hmm.
All right, so we've talked about the skills, the adaptability, but what about the support system?
Yeah,
What about connecting with other people in this field?
that's where networking comes in.
Okay, tell me more about that.
RoleCatcher really emphasizes this.
Yeah,
It's not just you and the land.
right.
It's about connecting with other farmers,
Okay.
agricultural experts, mentors. Imagine being able to call someone up when you've got a pest problem
Yeah.
or you need advice on rotating your crops.
Right.
That kind of support is invaluable.
Especially when you're just starting out.
Exactly. It's a community.
That's cool. So you're not just planting seeds, you're kind of planting roots in a whole community.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
It is actually. It's a really nice way to look at it. So you're really putting down roots in more ways than one. And speaking of putting down roots, what does RoleCatcher have to say about actually getting started in this field? It's got to be a bit different from your typical career path.
Oh, for sure. It's not your average 9 to 5, that's for sure.
Right.
You're not going to find many mixed farmers with their
I
MBA.
guess not.
Instead of jumping straight from the classroom to the cubicle,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher really stresses getting your hands dirty. Like
So
literally.
ditch the textbooks and just dive right in.
Exactly. It's all about apprenticeships, internships,
Okay.
volunteering on farms, just getting that hands-on experience.
Yeah. Practical knowledge, that makes sense. I mean, you're dealing with living things, right?
Right.
The weather, you can't learn that from a textbook.
Exactly. Experience is the best teacher when it comes to farming.
But what about someone who's maybe got a little bit of experience under their belt already?
Okay.
Say they've worked on farms before,
Yeah.
but they want to take that next step from farmhand to running their own operation.
That's where those specialized programs and certifications come in.
Ah, okay.
Because things are always changing in the agricultural world.
That's true.
New technologies, sustainable practices.
Right.
So whether you're trying to master composting or you're diving into the world of precision farming,
Precision farming. What is that?
it's using technology like sensors and data to optimize your crops.
Wow, so high tech.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
continuous learning is super important.
So even if you've been farming your whole life, there's always something new to learn.
Always.
It's pretty cool, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what you know.
Okay.
It's about showing it off.
Oh, I like that.
RoleCatcher talks about the importance of getting involved in agricultural shows and fairs.
Okay, so networking, basically.
Exactly. Meeting other farmers, exchanging ideas.
Got it. And getting your farm's name out there.
Exactly. They even talk about creating an online presence.
Like a website?
A website, social media.
Wait a minute, you're telling me my farm needs a digital resume now.
Think about it. You could have drone shots of your fields,
Okay.
mouth-watering photos of your produce.
That's kind of brilliant.
It's a great way to connect with customers.
Bring the farm experience right to their phones.
Exactly.
That's super cool. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here: experience, networking, the need to constantly adapt and learn. But let's be real for a second. What does RoleCatcher say about the financial side of becoming a mixed farmer? Because it can't all be sunshine and organic strawberries, right?
Right. Well, the guide is very upfront about the challenges.
Okay.
They say those upfront investment costs can be pretty steep.
What kind of costs are we talking about?
Well, you've got land equipment, livestock feed.
Oh, yeah, that adds up quickly.
It does. And that's before you've even planted a single seed.
And then there's always the risk of things going wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Late frost, a pest infestation.
Mother Nature can be brutal.
She can. And that can wipe out an entire season's worth of income.
That's a scary thought. So how do these farmers handle that pressure? I mean, that's a lot of financial instability.
But that's where the business savvy comes in.
Okay, so that business side is essential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The guide talks about budgeting, financial planning,
Right.
and staying informed about market trends.
So you have to be adaptable, not just with what you're growing, but with how you're selling it too.
Exactly. It's about making those smart decisions and diversifying.
Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. So instead of just selling tomatoes at the market, you might want to think about making and selling your own tomato sauce.
Right. Value-added products.
Exactly. You're expanding your offerings, reaching a wider customer base.
That's really smart. So it's all about being creative, resourceful, thinking ahead.
Just like any entrepreneur.
It sounds like it. Finding that balance, though, between your love for farming and having a good head for business, that seems key.
It's a delicate dance.
It is. Speaking of balance, I noticed RoleCatcher uses a really interesting phrase when they talk about mixed farmers. They call them land stewards.
It's a powerful term, isn't it?
It is. It's not something you hear every day.
It speaks to a deeper responsibility, I think.
It's more than just owning a piece of land, right?
Right. It's about recognizing that you're caring for something that's bigger than yourself.
You're borrowing it almost from future generations.
Exactly. And that means taking care of it.
It really adds another dimension to the whole thing, doesn't it?
It does. And, you know, that connection to something bigger, that sense of purpose,
Yeah,
that's a big deal for a lot of these farmers.
I bet. Especially these days, right?
Yeah,
It seems like so many people are feeling disconnected from where their food comes from.
absolutely.
Mm.
People want to know
Yeah,
how their food is being grown, who's growing it.
right. They want that transparency.
Exactly. And mixed farming really delivers on that.
It's that connection to the land, the community, it's all intertwined.
It's like a bridge between those traditional farming methods and this push towards a more sustainable future.
Okay, so it's not just about going back to the old ways.
No.
It's about taking the best of both worlds.
Right. Blending tradition and innovation.
And always learning and adapting, right?
Exactly. Because the needs of consumers, they change.
For sure.
And the planet's needs, they change too.
That's true. Okay, so we've talked about a lot, the challenges, the rewards, what it takes to succeed. But let's talk about the elephant in the room here.
Okay.
The money. Can you actually make a living as a mixed farmer?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is, because it's not always easy being an entrepreneur.
No, it's not. And farming comes with its own unique set of challenges.
So what does RoleCatcher say? Is it even possible to earn a good living from this?
Well, the guide says income can vary a lot.
Okay, so there's no magic number.
No, not at all. It depends on a lot of factors.
Like what?
Well, your location, for one. The size of your farm,
Right.
what you're growing, what kind of livestock you have.
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Not at all. It's about finding what works for you, your land, your market.
So some farmers might do really well focusing on, say, organic produce.
Right. While others might find their niche selling directly to restaurants.
Or doing those CSA programs.
Exactly.
So many options. It's not just about how much money you can make, though, right?
It's about finding a way to make a living,
Yeah.
doing something that you're passionate about.
Because at the end of the day, there are other rewards besides just the financial ones.
Absolutely.
Like you're working with your hands, you're out in nature, you're part of a community.
You can't put a price tag on those things.
You really can't. So to wrap things up, it sounds like becoming a mixed farmer is no walk in the park.
No.
It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, passion.
Resilience, too. You got to be able to roll with the punches.
That's true. You're dealing with Mother Nature after all.
Exactly.
But for those who are up for the challenge, it sounds like an incredibly rewarding way of life.
It's a special calling.
It really is.
Yeah.
And as we've learned, it's more than just a job.
It's a lifestyle.
It's about connecting with the land, your community, and yourself.
And in a way, it's about shaping the future of food.
That's a powerful thought. So as you continue to explore the world of mixed farming, here's something to chew on. How can technology be harnessed to support these farmers and their sustainable practices without losing sight of those traditional values?
That connection to the land. That's a great question.
It's something to think about. And on that note, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of mixed farming.
It's been a pleasure.
It really has. It's been fascinating to learn about all of this. So until next time, happy exploring, everyone.